What happens when you mix time travel, romance, and deep emotions into one story? You get a drama that stays in your heart forever. This is the story of a superstar singer and his biggest fan. Two souls whose worlds collide when a young girl travels 15 years back in time to save her idol from a painful destiny. Welcome to a drama full of love, hope, and miracles. The touching journey of Soul, a girl whose life changes in the most unexpected way. It was the year 2009, a day when the entire world looked up to the sky, waiting for a rare solar eclipse. That beautiful moment when the moon comes between the sun and the earth. Everyone was filled with excitement and wonder. But inside a quiet hospital room, one girl felt none of it. Soul sat in silence, trapped in sadness and pain. A terrible accident had taken away her ability to walk, and with it, her will to live. Every day felt heavier than the last. In her loneliness, she even thought of ending her life, just to escape the endless suffering. But right when she was about to give up, the phone rang. On the other end was a cheerful voice, the voice of Seon-jae, the lead singer of a new boy band called Eclipse. They were on a live radio show, calling lucky fans at random. Soul didn't even know who they were, but somehow Seon-jae spoke to her as if he already knew her heart. At first, Soul was angry. She told him life was unfair, that while others smiled and lived freely, she was stuck in a wheelchair, hating every minute of her life. She didn't want fake encouragement or gifts like running shoes. She just wanted it all to stop. But Seon-jae didn't give up. He spoke gently from the heart. He thanked her for staying alive. He told her to keep going, not just for herself, but for her family and for the beautiful days that always follow the rain. Those simple, sincere words from a stranger touched Soul deeply. Time passed, and soon the new year of 2022 arrived. Soul had found the strength to live again. She accepted her life in a wheelchair and became a devoted fan of the boy band Eclipse. As expected, her favorite member was Seon-jae. Her obsession grew so strong that she even convinced her grandmother, who had Alzheimer's, to give her something that once belonged to him, an old watch she had bought at an auction for a huge price. Her room looked like a small shrine, filled with Eclipse posters and a statue of Seon-jae watching over her. She was thrilled to see her idol perform live again after 5 years. On her way to the concert with her best friend Hanju, we get a glimpse of her past. How during high school, she was so busy chasing her crush that she never noticed Seon-jae studied at a nearby school. Now seeing his old photos makes her regret missing that chance. Her excitement keeps growing, but things start going wrong. She gets called for a job interview 2 hours before the concert. At the venue, barriers make it hard for her to move around, and she leaves before finishing. Traffic slows her down, and she even loses her ticket on the way. She can't enter the concert but refuses to give up. Wearing her Seon-jae headband, she stays outside, smiling and enjoying the music. When Seon-jae sings the band's first song, a story about a special encounter, Soul is deeply moved. But after the show, bad luck strikes again. Someone bumps into her, her phone breaks, and her wheelchair stops in the middle of a bridge during heavy rain. Alone and crying, she feels hopeless, until she sees Seon-jae himself standing before her, holding his famous umbrella. Shocked and frozen, Soul can't believe her eyes. Seon-jae helps her get home. Through tears, she thanks him for the music that gave her strength to live. When her friend arrives, she gives Seon-jae a small jar of her favorite sweets as a gift, and they part ways. After returning home, Soul couldn't stop thinking about the concert. She spent hours looking at Seon-jae's photos, zooming in and admiring every detail. Meanwhile, things were falling apart for the band. Seon-jae was exhausted and wanted to quit, but his bandmates and manager refused. The pills scattered in his room showed how troubled he was. Later that night, as he stood alone on his balcony, someone knocked on his door. Moments later, he fell, either by accident, suicide, or something worse. News spread quickly. Soul was among the first to see the video of paramedics trying to save him. She refused to believe he'd taken his own life. Panicking, she rushed out, but her idol's watch slipped from her hand and fell into a pond. Overwhelmed by grief, Soul fell from her wheelchair and crawled through the mud to reach it. Just then, a flash of light burst from the watch, and time stopped. When she opened her eyes, she was back in 2008, in her high school days. Her legs worked again. Thinking it was a dream, she ran to Seon-jae's school, and there he was, alive, practicing swimming. Crying with relief, Soul hugged him tightly, shocking everyone. Seon-jae, confused, thought she was crazy. When she told him she had missed him, the guards dragged her away. Later, when they met again by chance, Soul panicked, thinking he was a ghost. Surprised and uneasy, Seon-jae quickly took a taxi and left. This strange dream brings Soul back to her old memories. She's happy to see her mother's DVD rental shop, her childhood home, and her healthy grandmother. She goes to bed thinking she'll wake up in her real timeline, but the next morning, when her brother kicks her in his sleep, she realizes she's still in 2008. Now her life feels like a sci-fi story, but instead of panicking, Seol decides to change Seonjae's fate. The memory of his death still breaks her heart, and she cries every time she remembers it. When Seonjae kindly holds an umbrella over her, he can't understand why this strange girl always cries when she sees him. Seol's only goal is to save him. She sneaks around, uses silly excuses to watch him during gym class, and even ends up scolding some boys for smoking. Shocking Tae-sung, the bad boy she once had a crush on. The same girl who once sent him love letters now lectures him like a teacher. But Seol's real focus is on Seonjae. She keeps trying to get close to him, but something always goes wrong. She's mistaken for a smoker, misses buses, gets detention, and even fails simple conversations. Whenever she tries to mention the future, time freezes and no one hears her. So she changes her plan. Knowing Seonjae's love for swimming, she decides to protect him from the shoulder injury that will end his career. Her goal is to stop him from joining the next competition. A simple plan, but incredibly hard to make work. To stop the stubborn Seonjae from joining the swimming race, Seol comes up with a funny plan. She wears her brother's theater costume, disguises herself as an old woman, and gives Seonjae a fake prophecy. Hearing this, Seonjae laughs but agrees to stay away from the pool for a few days. However, Seol's mask soon falls off, and her secret is exposed. Things get worse when Seonjae sees her talking to Tae-sung. Jealousy fills his heart, but Seol doesn't give up. She sneaks into Seonjae's swim practice to protect him, but her plan fails again. When she tries to save his lucky swimsuit, people mistake her for a thief. Seol wants to tell him the truth, that she's trying to save him from a tragic future. But every time she talks about the future, time freezes. Frustrated, she just says it was all because of a bad dream. Seonjae misunderstands and starts treating her coldly, thinking she's just a weird stalker. Later, when he learns the truth, he rushes to find her and arrives just in time to help her during a panic attack. From that moment, Seonjae begins to care for her deeply, and Seol realizes that he truly loved her all along. Their bond grows stronger, but fate keeps testing them. Small things change, yet the shadow of the real tragedy still hangs over them. One day the watch glows again, and Seol is pulled back into the future. There she faces a heartbreaking truth. Seonjae is still dead, but this time something is different. A photo of the two of them appears in the scene of his death. It's proof that the future can be changed. Looking at the time travel watch, Seol realizes she only has 2 more chances left to save him. The memory of Seonjae's final moments breaks her heart. How he smiled at her from a distance. How happy he was to see her the night after the concert, even when she couldn't remember him. Now Seol is certain, the only way to change the future is to stay by his side forever. As the clock strikes midnight, she presses the button again and travels back to 2008. When she arrives, she feels strange, as if her 19-year-old self and her time-traveling soul have merged into one. It's like 2 versions of her heart are now living in the same body. There she discovers that her past self had pushed Seonjae away in order to get closer to Tae-sung, which had deeply hurt Seonjae. Watching Seol and Tae-sung spend time together had made him jealous and distant. Meanwhile, Tae-sung grows increasingly confused. This new version of Seol is confident, smart, and assertive, completely unlike the timid girl he once knew. He starts to suspect she might be suffering from a split personality disorder. Seol, meanwhile, makes every effort to reconnect with Seonjae. She even confronts a group of boys bullying him and advises him to stay away from music. Later, when she follows him home, a book accidentally falls on her head, knocking her unconscious. Though Seonjae remains silent, he quietly watches over her all night. When he finally walks her home the next morning, his emotions erupt. He angrily tells Seol that he's been avoiding her because he thought she was in a relationship with Tae-sung. Seol, hurt but honest, replies that she only follows him to protect him because she genuinely cares about him. After this confrontation, Seol begins keeping her distance. One day, she accidentally falls asleep on a bus and ends up far from home. Seonjae follows the bus and finds her at a deserted stop, where a drunk man starts harassing her. Seonjae rushes to her rescue, and at that moment, Seol experiences a vision of the past, of the day she was hit by a car and nearly drowned. Back then, it was Seonjae who had pulled her from the water and helped get the driver arrested. Now history seems to repeat itself. As Seol flees the drunkard, she slips and falls into the water again, only for Seonjae to save her once more. As they walk home, soaked but safe, Seonjae finally opens up and tells her about the very first time he ever saw her. The next day, Seol and Seonjae go to school together, making Tae-sung visibly jealous. Seol once again stops Seonjae from watching the Olympics, feeling guilty because he had quit swimming after injuring his shoulder. Remembering his pain, Seol feels deeply conflicted, while Seon-jae's affection for her only grows stronger. Later, Seon-jae practices singing with his friends and even organizes a small performance, hoping to gift Seol a new phone after hers was ruined in the water. But Seol scolds him, insisting he stay away from music. The next day, Seon-jae gathers his courage and confesses his feelings, asking Seol to break up with Taesung. Shocked and afraid, Seol runs away. Soon after, she discovers that Taesung had only kept her close so other girls wouldn't bother him. Furious, Seol confronts and hits him, while Seon-jae watches gleefully and even mocks Taesung, telling him to find someone else. Later, while Seol is cutting onions at home, Seon-jae mistakes her tears for heartbreak over Taesung. This misunderstanding sparks an argument in the middle of the road, where Seol's brother intervenes and punches Seon-jae, thinking he was harassing her. Seol brings the injured Seon-jae home to help him recover, but when he wakes up, she hides under the bed to avoid being caught. As her brother enters, chaos erupts, and both Seol and Seon-jae flee. Meanwhile, we see Seol's brother's own love story unfold. He's dating Seol's friend Hanju. On the other side, tension continues to build between Seon-jae and Taesung, both struggling with their feelings for Seol. Eventually, Taesung admits he never saw Seol as a backup. He had truly loved her. Hearing this, Seol's heart softens, leaving her torn between past and present emotions. The next day, Seol and Seon-jae go to watch the Olympics together. Though Seol tries to keep her distance, she knows deep down that she can't live without him. After the event, Seon-jae once again gathers his courage and proposes to her. But before Seol can respond, Taesung calls, informing them that Seol's mother has been taken to the hospital. Rushing there, Seol learns the heartbreaking news. Her mother has been diagnosed with cancer. Thankfully, the doctor assures her that surgery will make her completely fine. Later, while sitting with Taesung, Seol advises him to change his ways and focus on becoming a better person. After her mother's successful surgery, Seol finally responds to Seon-jae's confession, telling him she has no feelings for him. She lies deliberately, hoping to push him away from music and save his life, as she's seen visions of a tragic future where Seon-jae dies because of it. Soon, Seol begins experiencing stronger visions. She sees a mysterious man holding a set of keys, the same man who once found her lost phone and has been secretly following her. As the day of her destined accident approaches, Seol decides to stay home to avoid it. But when Seon-jae calls asking to meet privately, she agrees without hesitation. At the meeting spot, the stalker appears and kidnaps Seol. Moments later, Seon-jae arrives, finding her umbrella on the ground. The scene then flashes back to the past, the day of Seol's original accident. She had taken a taxi after leaving a bus, unaware that Seon-jae, a stranger then, was on the same ride. The kidnapper had abducted her and later tried to kill her by ramming her with a car. Seon-jae had witnessed it all, dived into the water, and rescued her, fighting the attacker until the police arrived to arrest him. But this time, things unfold differently. Now aware of her fate, Seol fights back fearlessly, snatching the car keys and escaping. She falls on the road while running, just as Seon-jae and Taesung's father arrive and rescue her. Finally, Seol returns to her present timeline, only to discover that her legs are completely healed and Seon-jae is alive. However, he no longer recognizes her, and the time travel watch she once carried has vanished. Despite this, Seol embraces her new reality. She's working at a major film company and living a fulfilling life. Determined to reconnect, Seol leaves a bouquet and a heartfelt letter at Seon-jae's office. When he reads it, his memories return. Overwhelmed, he rushes to the bridge where they once met and finds Seol nearby, her wheelchair broken. The two share a joyful reunion, spending the day wandering through the city, eating, laughing, and rediscovering each other. Later, they stay at a hotel for the night, but word spreads quickly, forcing them to sneak out to avoid public embarrassment. They escape to Seon-jae's apartment instead. While Seol's plan is to protect him from future danger, Seon-jae misreads her intentions, thinking she's there to watch him. Nervous, he starts hiding his roommate's belongings so Seol doesn't get the wrong idea, unaware that fate has brought them together once more for a reason far greater than either can see. Days later, while they're talking on the phone, Seon-jae steps out onto the balcony. Suddenly, Seol hears a noise and realizes with horror that someone has pushed him. The attacker is none other than the same killer who once targeted her. Seeking revenge, he murders Seon-jae for being the reason he was caught years ago. Devastated, Seol later discovers Seon-jae's old time travel watch at her grandmother's house. Knowing she has only one chance left, she activates it at midnight and returns to the past to save him. When she arrives, she finds herself sitting on a mannequin in a shop, and as she slips, Seon-jae catches her, just like before. But this time, Seol quickly pushes him away, determined not to let him fall in love with her. She knows that if he does, the killer will target him again. At school, Seol keeps her distance. Whenever Seon-jae approaches, she coldly dismisses him, claiming she's not interested. Heartbroken, Seonjae tells her he's leaving for America to undergo shoulder surgery and that she'll probably never see him again. Seol feels torn, relieved that he'll be safe far away, yet crushed by the thought of losing him forever. Later, when she sees Seonjae on a date with another girl, jealousy consumes her. Seonjae immediately senses her true feelings. He can tell she still loves him, no matter what she says. He gently confronts her, saying she doesn't have to keep running away, but Seol denies it again, hiding the truth to protect him. Eventually, Seol confides in Taesung, revealing the entire truth about her time travel and the dangers surrounding Seonjae. She asks him to secretly watch over Seonjae, and Taesung agrees, though their constant rivalry over Seol keeps causing tension between them. The next day, Seol assumes Seonjae has already flown to America, but suddenly he appears before her. He never boarded the flight. Overwhelmed with emotion, Seol runs into his arms, unable to hold back anymore. Both realize they can't live without each other. Finally, they decide to stop running from fate and spend their days together, cherishing every moment, no matter what the future holds. Taesung's father eventually tracks down the killer and captures him, but on the way to the police station, their car crashes and the killer escapes. When Seonjae learns that the same man has been stalking and threatening Seol, he sets out alone to find him, but returns empty-handed. Trying to forget everything, Seol, Taesung, and Seonjae spend a carefree day at the beach, laughing, playing with animals, and enjoying rare peace. But as Seol spins around with her phone, she suddenly sees flashes of past timelines, events that never happened in this version of reality. Realizing that her actions in the past have altered the future, Seonjae becomes increasingly protective, refusing to leave Seol alone. He even stays at her house to keep watch, and their closeness slowly turns tender and romantic. Meanwhile, the killer overhears Seol's mother on a phone call and learns where Seol is hiding. Later on a bus ride, Seol pretends to return to her present timeline. Seonjae believes she's truly gone and that the girl beside him is her past self who doesn't remember him. But this is all part of Seol's plan to keep him safe. Once Seonjae realizes the truth, he rushes out to find her. Together with Taesung's father, Seol sets a trap to catch the killer. But in the chaos, the man escapes again and runs into Seonjae. They chase each other to the edge of a cliff where the killer stabs Seonjae, sending him falling to his death. In the next instant, Seol awakens back in her present timeline. Taesung is now a detective, but Seol is shattered, haunted by memories of Seonjae. No matter how much Taesung tries to comfort her, her grief runs too deep. She has lost the one person she crossed time itself to save. The next day, when Seonjae's body is recovered from the water, Seol's time travel watch activates again, sending her back to the past. This time, she decides never to meet Seonjae, believing that staying apart is the only way to keep him alive. In this new timeline, Seol works as a scriptwriter for a film company and pens a story based on her time travel experiences. By fate, the now famous Seonjae is chosen as the lead actor for her script. Shocked, Seol refuses to work with him, but Seonjae invites her for coffee, expressing how much he loves her story. As they talk, a quiet bond begins to form, but Seol, hiding her true feelings, claims she loves someone else, breaking his heart. Later, destiny brings them face to face again at an exhibition park. Though they feel an unexplainable connection, Seol continues to keep her distance. Meanwhile, Taesung spots the killer and begins tailing him. At the same time, Seonjae experiences flashes of all his past timelines, clutching his head in confusion. The killer nearby tries to attack him, but Taesung crashes into his car, forcing him to flee. The killer then runs straight into an oncoming truck and dies, meeting the same fate as Seol once did. Sensing danger, Seol rushes through the streets and finally finds Seonjae safe. Overwhelmed, they share a heartfelt, romantic reunion. In the end, Seol and Seonjae start a new life together, with Taesung happily congratulating them. The final scene shows the couple on a quiet boat, where Seonjae proposes. Seol reveals her dream of becoming a film producer, and Seonjae promises to stand by her side. And with that, the time travel story comes to a peaceful, hopeful end. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I'll see you soon with another story. Until then, take care and thanks for watching.